One of the things I've noticed here in East Africa is that white people have a level of privilege. Yeah, we know they have white privilege in America, but they really have white privilege in Africa. And for a lot of Black Americans or African Americans, it's something that rubs us the wrong way. Because how do they get white privilege in Africa? And you see it especially when it comes to the dating market. You'll go to a restaurant and you'll see sometimes an 80-year-old white man with a 25-year-old lady, and that lady is all over him. But that white privilege is also extended into the private sector too. Go Black to Africa did an interview with a German living in Ghana who admits that he also has white privilege.
Of course, even as a white man here, I have a lot of privilege. Yeah, doors open, it's kind of messed up to think about it, but doors open way easier for me than for a Ghanaian. And that's even though I'm the foreigner.
We walked over here from where the cafe was at, right? We entered the street and there was a car that stopped.
Oh yeah.
And I knew he only stopped because you were walking across the street. This is just how.
It's not, bro. It's the same when I walk alone.
I'm just saying, if it was me, they would have kept on going.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you even recognize there is some white, there's benefits.
There's huge white privilege here because I have friends in Ghana. I get to make networking connections here with big men who have power that I could never even reach in Germany.
Yeah.
So me being here, I'm using that privilege in a way that I'm trying to use it for good, in a way to build something that I can pay back to my community.
But let's go back to the dating and mating world. We have white men who love coming to Africa for many different reasons. And when they come, they have their pick of a lot of different women that they can deal with. And this is no different with this white man. He moved from Ireland to Kenya to find the love of his life, but it didn't go as planned. Let's check it out.
I came to Kenya in November. I came here to meet a woman, and things haven't worked out between me and that person. You don't know somebody until all your finances is gone. You spend everything you have, and then that person doesn't want you anymore. Which has led me into a situation now that I've never battled against somebody on TikTok, but I have a match on Friday 13th, this coming Friday, to try and help me support getting back home to my home country, as I'm left here in Kenya without anything. So I pray you guys can come. It doesn't matter how big or how small you can gift. Please guys, if you can come, I'll be fair.
Oh yeah, this video is going viral all over the Black world. Indigire did a video on the same thing. I saw this actually on the Nairobi Gossip Club. Big shout outs to them. But it seems like a very humiliating experience for a white man to be stuck in Africa begging for support to get back home to Ireland. But this is not the only case. There was another white man in Colombia who got drugged, and his whole account was wiped out, and he had to beg for money to get back home too. But let me get back to this whole thing of white privilege in Africa. Now, this guy broke the cardinal rule: thou shalt not get broke. And unfortunately, this happens to foreigners in foreign countries. Now, if you want to believe that somebody loves you because you're white, and let me even say this for some of the brothers and sisters out here, because you're Black or you're Black American, you might have to reconsider your idea. Even in America, nobody loves you usually for you. Very few people do, and when they do, you should appreciate it. But when you come over here, people can pretend to love you. It doesn't mean that they won't, because I've met good people here on the continent of Africa. That's how I even have this channel. But a lot of guys are gonna come over here, and even ladies, you can come over here and believe that, hey, I really got something that I want, and this is great. I'm in love. And until your money runs out, and then now you're begging for help. It happens a lot, and it happens to a lot of Black men, unfortunately. White men too. But it happens. There's a story of another German guy that came here to Uganda and he lost like $3 million. He got conned out of $3 million. That lady ended up going to jail and got out, and he never got his money back. So here's what I want to talk about when it comes to, dating people or marrying people when you come from another place. If you are a brother from the community, right? The United States, Britain, you in the Ugandan diaspora, you got to understand many times, not all the times, but many times, you are a means to an end. This is not everybody. This is not every time, but you are a means to an end. Okay. And people are only dealing with you usually for what they can get from you. That's everywhere in the world, but in particular, in places where there are not many opportunities. You need to understand that. Also, you also got to know one thing too, and this is not to be disrespectful. Typically, foreigners pay a higher cost to date ladies than local men do. All right. And here's what has happened. I won't say that always happens, but here's what has happened. Storytime music. I know of a situation of a young lady that met an American guy. Okay. The American man loved this young lady. He didn't even get a chance to meet her. All right. But if he would have met her, it would have been the same issue. I know of the lady. I have seen her before. And so I didn't know the guy. But anyways, when he started talking to the young lady, he was doing things like sending her an iPhone. He was video calling her all the time. He approached her parents about marrying her. Unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to come see her. Now, why is that the case? Let me tell you why that is, all right? Firstly, he bought his ticket to come February 2022. What she didn't tell him was that she was 8 months pregnant by somebody else, okay? So he's sending money while she's pregnant by another guy. The other guy pays a bride price for her. So she tells him the month before he's about to come, listen, I'm sorry, I've been taking your money, I've been taking your phones, but you can't come right now because I'm pregnant by another man and about to marry this guy, right? The man felt horrible. He handled it with as much class as he could. So he never came here to Uganda. And I don't know why he feels like that. Now, obviously, this is not every woman or every person, right? We understand that. But the situation is this. If you're a man that is leading with your money and you're leading with what you can do for somebody, you're going to be taken advantage of. There's so many ladies in this country that don't care about like moving to America or wanting to be with you because you're an American. It could help that you're a foreigner, but that's not really why they're there, right? But the thing is, you have to understand why people want to talk to you. Of course, every woman wants a man that will be able to take care of them and help them out. That's women's nature, right? And that is also okay. But there's so many guys all over the world that feel like, well, because I'm an American or because I'm a white person or I'm a black person, that I should be able to get privilege. And you can get privilege based on what you can do for somebody until you can't do it anymore. Now, I have seen white guys who don't have any money still get a lot of chicks. But if you can't afford to even stay in the country anymore, that's bad. And this guy got his, Irish wake-up call. Because, hey, again, you're going to have money. Especially, I'm going to tell you this, if you're an older guy. If you're a guy 30, 40, or 50, we got to be honest here. Most women don't want to deal with you when you're 30, 40, or 50. Not for free, all right? And if you're older, you need to have standards for yourself. Don't just give ladies money because they need it. I've had all kinds of situations happen, not just here, but many different places. Let's talk about another story time. You see this picture here? This is a picture of somebody using somebody's Visa card. I think it's a lie. I know it's a lie. This lady wanted me to send her some money. So what she told me was, hey, somebody stole my debit card they took like the equivalent of $150 US. I won't name the country. And oh my God, I'm so broke. By the way, the CCTV footage is there. I don't know why she's telling me this. It doesn't matter, because if somebody stole some money from your bank, you can challenge it and get it back. And she thought I was stupid, but she was trying to show this to get more money out of me. Now, here's what happens. Guys will give the money. Oh, boo, it's nothing. What if it's like $25 you'll give it, right? But then what you don't know is you're encouraging a behavior to be taken advantage of. And that tends to happen with foreigners when you deal with people that's not from your community. They will try you, right? This can happen. This is not everybody in Africa, but this can happen. You're going to get pictures of somebody in a medical bill. That's going to happen. I know what you're going to say. Well, what kind of ladies are you dealing with? There are women in Africa that are rich. That's true, right? But we're going to be honest. Successful Africans, they're going to be hard to reach for most guys. Most guys are going to be dealing with normal people and that are very attractive to you. So you have to also, and even in your business collaborations, don't be afraid to tell people no. Make people give you value as you're giving them value. So you don't end up going broke and spending all of your money on other people. And this is not just ladies. Most of the scams that are big time happen from other men. All right. You also need to be wary of other men. Be wary of guys who, if you go to a country club, right? You go to a place like that, always ask yourself, right? Because you can let your guard down at a place like that. You will see guys there every day with a laptop there. All right. If you ever go to a restaurant and you never see a guy with food, that guy is probably broke and he's a scammer. All right. And people will get close to you and try to be your friend just so they can ask you for big money. Oh, there's a business deal that we can do. It's going to cost like $10,000. But you see this person every day, right? But that person doesn't have any real value and you can get scammed. I know of a guy that lost $300,000 like that. All right. So you need to be able to vet people before letting them in your life. When you move here to the continent or any place else, as much as you want to get out there and meet people, you're going to have to be a little cautious, right? Because that's what happened to me. I came here in 2020 during COVID. I had like so many friends, and there was a month I made a lot of money, and I spent every dime of that money that month helping people during COVID here. All right. Guess for those people hard now, they nowhere to be found, right? I had to cut them all the way off. Every dollar. And that month, I think I made almost $15,000 that month or something like that. And I spent every dollar on that, on the business, and just giving money to people, helping people that I thought were friends. Not everybody is your friend. All right. Know that people can be fake just like anywhere else, and that they probably can and most likely will try to use you if they see an opportunity. That's why you need to vet people and delineate yourself with boundaries. It can happen with your employees. I've had employees ask me for money because they have financial problems, the whole nine, right? And I'm telling you this because as much as we're thinking it's funny because it's a white guy, it can happen to you and you're black very quickly. And it's very possible. Women, men, I've seen it happen to older ladies get involved with younger men here and they get beat the same way. So wake up, use your mind, know that most people don't want you because you're a nice person. Most people around the world, anywhere, want you for what you can do for them, and they can feel entitled to your money because you are a foreigner. Well, he's a foreigner, he has all kind of money, he should give it to me. Bullshit, right? Tell them no. All right? Tell them no. Hell no. And if you ask me again, I'm gonna block you. And if they do block them, don't ask me for money. Just tell them that right off the bat. Don't ask me for money. If you ask me for money, I'm not going to talk to you. Because if you don't, they're going to come up with certain ways to ask you. They'll dry beg like, oh, yeah, hey, this weekend I want to go and get a birthday cake so that me and my parents can enjoy it. They're not telling you they want the birthday cake. They're trying to insinuate that you should buy the birthday cake. You know what you should tell them? Ask your family to buy it. Then when they do that, they try to guilt trip you. Wow, what kind of response is that? Block them immediately. Unaccountable. I told you don't ask me. Don't fucking ask me. You know what I mean? They'll try to make you feel bad for not giving them money that you worked for. Yet they work every day and they spend their money on whatever they want to spend. It's not your job to take care of people. And I had to learn that here a lot. It's not. If you're here to add value to the country, to work with the community in the best way, but you got to get your value too. And taking care of people who are grown is not something that you're obligated to do. Don't do it. You'll be distressed. You'll be pissed off. You'll be hot, right? So don't do it. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson back at it again here with another episode here on the Kenyan Fair Use. We're out.